I'm going to try to do another tone study in one colour using burnt umber, the good old standby. Ron Ranson used to demonstrate these in his books. A swig of tea. I'll have a go at a woody scene. A bit of water maybe, and the rocks. So first off, wet the paper. Now I've got the angle of the board here is about 85 degrees to the vertical, so it's pretty steep. So I'm using my colour palette because I've got a lot of burnt umber on it, so whoops, I've given it a bit of a wet. It's been in the Ziploc bag for a couple of days because yesterday I did the single tone study, single colour. So I've got these online. I can't remember who from, but you can get them easily enough. They're very inexpensive, £5 including postage for 5 of them. These are A3. They're probably just a little bit big for my trays, but they're very, very good. I'm very happy to be able to track those down. The paper is Fabriano, £130 weight. This batch I bought from Curtis Ward. You can buy it from them or Grantham's Arts discount. The brush is a 2-inch hake it's a Ron Ranson hake. Probably Jackson's. I can't remember where I got this from. So I've got my paper nicely, well, not almost. It's drying in a bit quick, so I don't want it drying too much. I'll put a bit of a background in. And sky and stuff like that, the usual. So look, get rid of the grey. Right, so let's just put some paint on, and where my water's going to go, I'm not doing a river scene, it might be a pond or something. And while the paper's in this sort of condition, you can more or less do what you like with it. So I'll just thicken up, so some clouds. A bit darker. So this will stand for the small clouds and the shadow under the clouds. We'll see what happens when it dries. It's a great challenge doing single colour tone studies, because that's what they are. It's trying to sort out all your tones from light to dark with one colour, with no other colours to help. But it's great for sketching outdoors, for getting all the information down that you need, and keeps your equipment to the minimum. You could probably get away with a rigger and the 2-inch hake and a block of A4 watercolour paper. I wouldn't recommend doing it on too light a paper. You could probably get away with £90 paper, but I think if you're going to do any scraping with the plastic cards, you need something a little bit more substantial, because the paper is like a sponge on the surface, and when you scrape it, it just moves the paint to another place. You don't really want to score, well, you can score it if you wish, but you really want to just move the paint rather than destroy the surface of the paper. I'm just trying to get this bottom down here. I've got the brush in my mouth. Right, okay, so a bit of distant hill in the lightest area, but a bit darker than that. Okay, so that'll do for the background, and then I'll put in some darker trees. Well, my hake has got hairs going all over the place. And as we go in with the darker stuff here, we can do some scrapings and have the other side a bit higher, maybe, just to vary. Nice and dark in here. Alright, okay. Good dark here now. I'm going to put in some rocks and stuff in this pondy sort of area. Right, really good, rich, dark here. And as that dries, I can see what happens when I try to scrape that up. It just does. So it works. And then some in here. Just do some flicks, some flourishes, some grasses, and then I'll just give it a reclip. And then I'll put some. I might give it a dry. You wouldn't have the luxury of a hairdryer in the wilds, but you might have. You can have these. There are blowers with gas cylinders in. Yeah, a bit of rocky stuff in here, and maybe just a bit across here. Right, I'll dry it off, so take your headphones off. Right, so now we're going to just stiffen up the trees here with some foliage, nice and good and dark. Okay, some in here, get some good rich painting in now, almost black. And I'll put some rigger work in over the top of this, and let's just get this a bit more firm. Try and get pleasing shapes on your canopies of the leaves, but try not to make it mechanical. There's always a temptation. Right, good. My paint is almost dried up. I'm just a bit of dark in the shadows here. Okay, so we've got a sort of recession there. A few ones over here. Right, rigger. So we'll just show some trunks and some twigs and some stuff. And then I'll think about the water, what we can do there. So burnt umber is a lovely warm, very dark red. We call it brown, but it's really I reckon dark red. So let's just a bit of texture in some of these rocks here. Okay. Right, I'm going to dry that off. And bit of dry brush now. Oh, where's my dry brush? Need to dry my brush off a little bit. And just a bit of reflection in here. Okay, well I can stiffen that, I can stiffen up around the banks on that. Let's put in some figures. Bit of a, and we'll put that bit there. That's the fishing in there. Just gives a bit of scale to the tree. Everything else. So that's about it really. I'll sign it. I was going to stiffen up there, wouldn't I? Right, before I ruin it, let's just sign it. I'll put a mount around it. Couple of bites. Okay, that's about it really. As quick as I can do. Not that speed is the absolute in this, but there we are. We've I think we've done quite a bit with quite a little. I'll just pin that to there. So there we are, a woody scene with the rocks and the water and a fisherman all in one colour. These are the sort of things you can build on with colour. They're designs, but I'm doing them as demonstrations. But maybe £90 paper would be okay if you can get a block of A4 and take it out in your rucksack. Let's just bring the camera around and we'll have a look at what we've done. Right, let's zoom in and go round. Right, well there's my background, nothing really. I'm a fisherman and the trees, plenty of shadow in the trees. We'll probably get away with a bit more in here, but I'll leave that and we'll come across the other side, which is larger. The trees go up further. You don't want to break your picture into two. You want to make one side subordinate to the other, and you can rest your eyes on the fisherman in the end. Just having a little fish in the river. The river looks quite wet. I'm quite pleased with that. Have a go at these sort of things. They're not as well. They are more difficult to do because you're relying on tones of one colour rather than darker mixes of other colours. I don't know why that. Right, I'll let that go. Thanks very much. Bye bye.